Good Sunday morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. If you are here in Postville, Maryland, or I know that there's some of you tuning in virtually. So once again, we're very happy to have with Jet's blessing a teaching today with Khenpo Karze. So we will have the teaching. It will be followed by Q&A. And then we'll have some opportunities, again, as I said, to ask questions, and then we have some light refreshments. So we will begin the teaching. Thank you, Khenpo.
Dunga mebe dewa damba damendrawa chuji nirin chadani danyan chimbola neba chuji sanjin tamje dewa da dewe judunde dunga da dunga chuji dandrawa chuji dunga mebe dewa damba damendrawa chuji nirin chadani danyan chimbola neba chuji kongi tenji jawa junga pa meba che meba che pa meba me bandro me bata den de me tenji butu pani shi shi de mo zo sanje hanan ki tamba de na shan sa lo ma ji tu jen ben jen ba ma la la si ba zo tu den ji nim be tamba be lo dan be ma no vi sha la so de good morning. Oh yeah. No. Yeah. I think we are on a topic. For thoughts, is it?
Yes.
Last week?
2 weeks.
Yeah, we discussed on impermanence, and then another one. Precious human rebirth or human life, is it? Yeah. And then, yeah, with knowing actually these two, actually it's so important, leading to have a meaningful life. One is precious human rebirth, and one is the impermanence of all the phenomena, is it? If we know these two, then you will respect Karze, karma, actually. Yeah. So, but before that, of course, we all are hoping and also trying to live happy life or meaningful life. Yeah, I think all living beings, not only the human beings, other living beings also want to happiness or happy or meaningful life, is it? So then we put many different efforts to have a meaningful life or happy, trying to different way, different methods. And then, of course, if we can do as much as possible to benefit all sentient beings, is it? So through our body and mind, speech, or we can say act, whatever we act with the sixth perfection. So you are actual trying to help to others, engage in a actual work or what? We can say like that. Action, I mean taking action. That is actually called, there's the two bodhicitta, One is reality, one is ultimate. Within the reality also have two categories. One is just aspiration, one is taking action. Okay, so this is, I think, taking actions, So through our mind, body, speech. So whatever we can do accordingly our ability or capacity, helping to others. That's just actually called, bodhicitta, is it? Application of the sixth perfection, six parjaparamita or 10 parjaparamita. So then if we cannot actually manage actual helping to other living beings through our body and mind, speech, then we have to practice the aspiration bodhicitta with the four immeasurable, Normally we do that, is it? Yeah. So that is actually we call aspiration bodhicitta mind or awakening mind, is it? Yeah. So we must at least maintain the motivation to avoid harming to, other living beings, So then we can think about all sentient beings, to have happiness and causes of happiness like that, with four immeasurable. So that is actually called aspiration bodhicitta. Okay. So when it comes, helping to others, then of course, when we speak of benefiting or helping others, then it is actually best to do so in accordance with that our own, capacity actually, If we, beyond our capacity, then sometimes it brings feel regret. Okay. Yeah, so it's important, helping according to our own capacity. So if we go beyond that, then of course if we can do continuously, it's good for you and for others, but sometimes we are, the strong, because of negative thoughts, and sometimes it's bring due to the three poisons, so sometimes we feel regret. Oh, I shouldn't, give that to that person because that person's not really good for us. If we think like that, then you are regretting your own virtues. We call njepa, Tibetan we call njepa, which is regret or regretting, to good things which you already done, So that is not good, If you regret those non-virtues, then it's okay. if you regret to virtues, okay, then yeah, that regret can, how to say, destroy your merit. Yeah, so that's the reason. So when we help to others, then according to our own capacity, do, you know. Otherwise, yeah, sometimes feel like that way, then it's not good, you know. Yeah, okay. So, okay. To lead a meaningful life, we must actually first recognize that this human existence is precious. That is actually number one, okay? Then precious and significant. This realization should come from understanding, actually. The what is the actually meaningful, not meaningful, the precious human, how to say, human life or rebirth, I mean, okay? So when we recognize this human body or human rebirth, what has qualities, to knowing that, then we can also realization. This realization should come from that understanding or the qualities of human body. Within the human body, so many qualities actually, you know, then the other, I mean, beings, okay? So then, yeah, this is actually explained in the first of the four thoughts that turn in the mind, okay? The human rebirth. Then one must understand that this life is then by its very nature in a state of momentary change, actually, you know. Then it becomes, you know, impermanence. We cannot, you know, feel that, oh, this human birth is so precious, okay? If we think that, just, you know, thinking, it's also okay, but that's not enough, you know, to remove all the negative thoughts, all the emotions, you know. Then we have to recognize the impermanence, you know, this human rebirth, or all the phenomena are actually, you know, changing moment by moment, you know. We cannot actually trust in that, you know. So moment by moment, if we can, how to say, recognize that, then we can engage with some activities which is a benefit for others, you know. Through that, then we can have some meaningful life or meaningful time. Yeah, without recognizing these two, okay, precious human rebirth and then impermanence, then it's difficult to bring a meaningful life, you know. Yeah, so it's saying like that way, it's a moment to change, a point which is already, we discussed on the second thought of tuning the mind. Is it? Yeah, impermanence. If we conduct our life based on a profound understanding of this two, first and second thoughts of turning the mind towards Dharma, is it? Yeah. So then we will likely be able to conclude with the certainty that those individuals have led a truly meaningful and purposeful life. Yeah. So then, as one's practice of this kind develops in outlook of equanimity, yeah, will arise after that actually, when we feel or recognize precious human birth and impermanence, then arising the equanimity actually. Okay, so then we arise within one's own mind from such a perspective. Like for example, if we are experiencing anger or hatred towards someone, although there are many various methods to pacify that anger, but it is most effective to maintain the perception of impermanence actually. There's many methods to remove anger or hatred actually, but the most powerful is recognize or thinking about impermanence, So then I think if we experience or habit with impermanence practice, then it's easy to remove the hatred or anger to someone. Okay. What exists now is actually so gone in a moment. What exists today may be gone tomorrow. So how much we maintain that anger, someone can maintain whole life, is not meaningful. If you are anger to someone, if that person tomorrow can die, then what about carry that anger whole life? Is not meaningful, I mean. Yeah, sometimes we normal person do that, the whole life carry that kind of anger. So even that person's already gone, but you are carrying that anger, the person's whole your life. So it's not good for your health actually. Yeah, so we need peace within the inside or inner peace. If you carry that kind of anger or hatred, the person who are already gone, so then you cannot be actually peace. Yeah, so it's important, I mean, so whether they are your enemy or your loved ones, okay, it is exactly the same Dranyam Gitawa. So what we call the Dranyam equanimity, Dranyam Gitawa. As the perspective of equality develops, a powerful motivation arises to accomplish the benefit of other sentient beings who are just like oneself. So once that emerges, one can realize that human beings bear a greater responsibility than other types of living being, because we have that kind of sense. Okay, this act or these actions is benefit for me or for others, or this act is not good for me or for others. We have that kind of sense. The other living beings, of course, they also have, but human sense is more powerful than other living beings. So that's why we have more responsibility than the other living beings, to create a peaceful life or meaningful life, or what we call that a good society. Yeah. So it's important to knowing that, so I'm a human. I have more responsibility to bring happiness or meaningful life to the society or to the whole world, So then you will feel, more powerful than other living being. Okay, then we can engage with some activities to help others, accordingly our own capacity. Then, just saying sentient not only sentient beings in general, but human beings in particular possesses the capacity to distinguish between happiness and suffering, or good or bad, as well as virtues or non-virtues to recognize. And that's just more important, which act is virtues or non-virtues. To recognize that, then once we recognize action which are virtues, then we can, put more effort on that. If some actions are non-virtuous, then we have to put, more effort to avoid those actions or those acts. Okay? So then say as well as what is harmful and what is beneficial, because we have the ability to differentiate and recognize those virtuous type of feeling. We are all identical in our desire for happiness and our wish to avoid suffering. So, we cannot describe, or I cannot describe the intricate origin of how those virtuous emotions involved here. It's evident to all of us that we naturally appreciate, happiness and have an aversion to the experience of suffering and pain. So therefore, in order to prevent frustration and turmoil in our life, it is extremely important to live our lives in a state of harmony and peace. Shide, Deji in the Tibetan we call Shide, which means peace. Yeah, Deji is happiness. Okay, peaceful life, or meaningful life, we can say like that way. Or regarding the question of how to achieve peace and happiness, then shide dechi chida topi rani ki shide dechi tamchi shungobo punzo kona leya. Then most of the people or most of the beings are mistaking, mistaking or misunderstanding, okay, to having that kind of happiness or meaningful life. It depends on outer material, is it? Yeah, the most of them in generally whole normal person or like us, we think like that way, if we see someone has a big house, nice car, and nice dress, then we think, we thought, oh, this person's, so happy life because he has everything, nice car, nice house, something like that. Okay, but if we trying to more understand, or if we trying to more engage in a Dharma, then it's not true actually. Yeah. Then we think, or all the dose that person have, it's actually impermanent. If we think like that, yeah. So of course, yeah, it is a mistaken to believe that all of our, tranquility and well-being are, derived solely from the material prosperity. Mm. Well, we can, cultivate comfortable physical. Of course, those material things, it helps your sometimes, physical, okay, and certain, difficulties. We can, if we're sick, like if you don't have enough money to go to hospital, then it's difficult, to how to say, to taking medicines, treatments. So this kind of, the things, of course, those money and materials can help. But okay, so he's here also like that, saying, well, we can cultivate comfortable physical and eliminate certain, body difficulties through the external resources. So any physical experiences we derive from such material condition are limited to the level of mere sensory feeling. Okay? Then it mean nam she the some chong ba la jichon nga zu dung na jeri mong bu nyang is based on human intelligence and thought. We experience many varieties of suffering. This is a consciously and clearly presented in the actually what we call that tutors. I don't know. Tipika, we can say, or tipitaka, or those composed by those masters. They actually mention it. Many things like master of Arya Deva, the founder of Abhidharma, actually. Okay, so being Inye, Tibetan we call Inye, but in the Sanskrit word Arya Deva. So he said actually, Arya Deva gives, okay, the higher ones have mental suffering. Higher, those who possesses material world and high positions like that, wealthy persons. So they have, mental problems or mental suffering. So more than the poor people. Yeah, he's saying like higher ones have mental suffering, lower ones have physical suffering. Yeah, which it doesn't mean, the higher those because wealthy person, they doesn't have, physical suffering. Of course, they have physical suffering, but they have more, physical suffering than, no, they have more mental suffering than the physical suffering. Because physical suffering, they can, easily remove because they have enough, what do we call that? Money or facilities, but those who are poor people, so we can maybe sometimes when you go somewhere in the city or we can see those poor people, they live so happily, singing and dancing, And it doesn't matter whether it's raining or cold. Looks like, they are more happy than those rich person. But they have, of course, the physical suffering, more than those, rich person, of course. So everybody have, different, kind of sufferings, Yeah, the meaning of this is that people who great power and wealth may have a little external, physical suffering, okay? Yet they have a more, mental suffering than the other, the poor people, like ordinary person. Like we have more suffering, physical than the mental suffering. Sometimes they look, how to say, it's true, when we see those wealthy person, they have actually more, they have to more engage the different things, If you are more engaged with the different things, then they have a more, problems. If you have a more problems, then you have a more suffering, If you don't need to engage any activities, then you don't need, suffering. Like those rich person, they put their money in a different, companies, and then they, how to say, hire employers, yeah. So you have more, need to spend more money. Yeah. So here also like that way, it's a saying. Then well, physical suffering can be actually, how to say, remove through by external, material. Yeah. Is it? I think so. External conditions, the growth of your material resource cannot actually diminish of suffering you encounter due to your mental attitude. Yeah, a clear example of this is the many wealthy individual we observed who, despite possessing complete material comfort, continue to undergo vicious form of mental distress. This is something that we can all, recognize actually. So therefore, it's very clear that different difficulties or discomfort and sufferings are solely the result of one's inner state, the way of we thinking, It's depend on how we are thinking, actually, So it's important. So if we think, in a positive way, then everything's, come with positively. Is it? Yeah. Like, if we like someone, or trust to person, then that person's do whatever he or she, whether it's good or bad. But you see, or we see, the person is doing good. So we can never. It's very difficult to see the person's doing bad thing because you are trust, believe in that person, because it depends on your thought. In your thought, the person never doing bad things like that. So then the person's whatever he or she does, so we think, it's all good. Yeah. Or we someone who, we like, to the person, then the person's whatever he or she says, we think that is good. So it's a depend on our own thinking. Thinking is actually so important. That's why in the Tantrayana teaching is all depend on actually your thought. That's why trying to learn all the thought positive way actually. Tanang, Tibetan we call Tanang. Ta is actually pure. Nang is actually it appears actually, or whatever you hear, whatever you think, So you have to try to Karze, learn in pure vision or view. Yeah, pure view. We can say like that. Tanang. So if you don't have pure view, then it's difficult to practice Tantrayana actually. Tantrayana is all about pure view. Yeah. Tanang. So nang da rik. Nangwa is appearance. Dakwa is sound. Nang da rikpa is actually thought or thinking. Then la nga chu gu. Whatever we appears, we have to try to sing all appearance, those, la, which means God and Goddy, God, what we call goddesses, or bodhisattva, or female bodhisattva, or male bodhisattva, like that. Nawa, appearance. Japa is actually sound. It's trying to hear all sounds in mantra, actually. Yeah. Yeah. Then Ripa is actually thinking or thought. It's trying to find the Dharmakaya. Is it? So if we trying to do that, then of course all the actually Karse, your body and mind, speech are actually engaged with the pure view. If we are doing that way, okay, yeah, then it's a meaningful, whatever we hear, if we those bad sound actually, if we trying to hear all those bad sound as mantra, it's meaningful. Yeah, if someone is saying some bad things, if you're trying to that sound, as like omani peme hum, then you will never hear bad sound actually. Yeah. If we never hear those kind of sound which just hurts us to, then never, how to say, after that never arise those hatred, anger, or whatever we call those, negative emotion, Yeah. So then to summarize the point, when we discuss our encounter with happiness and suffering, so there are two distinct ways in which they are experienced. One is closely tied to our sensory perception, consisting of the pleasure and pain that arise thought or the five senses. The other is a different level of feeling, the happiness and suffering experienced through the internal mind and one's mental attitude. Between these two, the joy and sorrow or happiness and suffering felt within the mind are far more intense and powerful than those experienced through the sensory faculty, the over faculty, So, this is the, way we experience those happiness or suffering or pain or joy, is it? So of course, then first, we recognize what is actually happiness or meaningful life. Then we can engage, those acts which is bring some happiness, so we can engage, and then we can avoid those acts which are, harmful, So when we recognize some act, some with related with happiness or some are related with suffering, then you can try to more engage with those acts which is bring happiness, or then you can more trying to avoid those acts which is harmful, not bad. So yourself, of course, other living beings, important, to think about that, because we are saying in Vajrayana or Mahayana, is whatever we do act, whatever we thought, actually, thoughts for others, do those acts for others, not by yourself. So this is the way Mahayana or Tantriyana are doing, practices, actually. Whatever we, just like aspiration. So if we are, not engaged over body, speech in action, then our thoughts have to think, something good for others. That's the melam. Tibetan we call melam, kind of wishing or hoping or aspiration. In Tibetan, in English, but maybe aspiration. So you're wishing, you're feeling to others. Okay, so if we practice the aspiration or wishing or hoping, so once we get more, habit with that the practice, so that practice can bring actual benefit, of course. Yeah. Benefit or realization or whatever we call, So then, of course, then thinking that not losing when you doing something in actual action, okay? So that is actually called the, Jupa Semshi, actual practice of bodhicitta, actually, okay? Without not losing the aspiration or wishing. When you're doing actual things through your body, speech, and mind, you cannot lose that wish or that aspiration. Okay? Yeah. But when we just aspirations, then our body, speech, mind is not engaged with actions, So, but when you doing action, so you cannot actually lose your that wish or hoping or aspiration. There's a two little bit different. Okay, so that's the reason the reality bodhicitta. Okay, it is so important when your body and speech engage in kasa actual action, so not losing the wishing that all sentient beings to have happiness or causes of happiness, that kind of wishing. You have to be kasa carry with your actual action. So that's just saying this two, the kasa thought. One is aspiration, thinking of kasa human rebirth, precious human rebirth, and impermanence. It's bring a lot of good things, or it's bring a realization also, you can say, or renunciation. Renunciation, Minjung, renunciation. What mean of the renunciation actually?
Turning away from ordinary.
Yeah.
Giving up.
Yeah, you can say giving up, or have that kind of the strong feeling, I want actually kasa free from actually suffering. Okay, to recognize all samsara is actually suffering. So I want, free from this suffering. Yeah. So these two actually bring that kind of, renunciation or the realization. So there's so many benefits, Yeah. So that's the reason. So it's important to think the precious human rebirth and impermanence. Then it's bring meaningful life, Yeah. Okay. Maybe, yeah. So any question? If you also, it's the Sakadawa. It's the first day of Sakadawa or second day? Maybe first day. And the Tibetan calendar, okay? Just ordinary Tibetan calendar. We can say today is starting actually Sakadawa. But according to Vinaya tradition, it's already been 16 days. Okay, it's a different, different, how to say, starting date. Vinaya tradition and Tibetan astrology traditions different actually. The date. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Sagadawa. But most of the, we, how to say, except today is the, first day of Sagadawa starting. Yeah, I think today maybe. Is it?
I think it's today.
Yeah. Yesterday is maybe 30. Namgang, not full moon. New moon. Yeah. So then today, yeah.
I forgot, what is Saga again? Dawa is month.
Yeah.
Right? Or
Saga is actually,
Saga
I don't know, in a Chimjungni, we call Chim, Tibetan astrology. So they have a different name. Each month have a different name because each star they can this maybe astrology they know the better, the different stars have different name. So maybe Chimjuni, Tibetan we call Chimjuni, I don't know. No, 12.
Oh, Juni.
Yeah, 12 something different. I really don't know. Because it's according. So Chimjuni is, yeah, they said Chimjuni. Tunkhor, Tunkhor was one of the Tantric Jnana teaching. So according to that, so they said Lore Dawa Chungi, so 1 year, 12, month, okay. So su Nima Kami gi Nima Sosola Nima Kami Chum Kang to Nebi Charere Chimrere Zibada. Oh yeah, it's a difficult. Yeah, because Nima is actually sun. Kama is actually star. Yeah. So the sun goes round the what we call Kama. So each round it's a take, 1 month actually. Sun, how to say, goes round. Each star takes each month actually, just 1 round. So then each star has, the 30 days. That actually star is a name differently. So it's the 4th is a Saga. The star name is a Saga.
Okay.
So when sun it goes around the Saga star, then that month is called Sagadawa. Yeah, it's a different star's name, So the Tibetan we call Chimjuni.
Chim means what?
Chim is actually house, but this is different. No, different name, Yeah, you cannot say this is house, but this is a giving name actually. Chimjuni. So Chim, Ni Chimjuni Sam Karchim Juni. Yeah. So different, because it's accordingly Karze. So they have the Tibetan, the astrologies, they do like that, then it's a different karma, different, so then to go around, moon and sun, go around each karma. Yeah, so it's very difficult to explain because Karze, we don't have that knowledge, about the astrology. So it's difficult. So then it comes ninja, because in the Tibetan, of course, in the also Western calendar also have some months only have 28 days, some months 31, some months 30, some months 29. Yeah.
Every 4 years.
Yeah. So in the Tibetan, we don't have that kind of, but we have double, some days has double, but you can see in that month some days are loose. Like if that month, like this month Sagadawa, if there is no the eight day, then other day should be double.
Like 9 and 9.
Yeah, 9 or 10 or something like that. So through that, they call actually ninja, chenja. means each days or no, each year we are losing some days. So that's why after I think every 5 years or 6 years, extra month.
Oh.
The reason of that, because each day we are losing some days. So then that day, how to say, combined the maybe next 4 years, after 5 years or 6 years, then each year have some extra month.
Make it up.
So because we are losing the days, so 宁夏春夏 Tibetan we call 宁夏春夏. I don't know the yeah. Yeah, yeah. It's all about astrology actually. If you, of course, if you have more time to learn, then you can learn actually Abhidharma. Yeah, in Abhidharma actually has everything in there. Astrology or philosophy or the Buddhism science.
Science.
Yeah. So Abhidharma is actually, how to say, all inclusive, all teaching actually. Yeah, science or medicine or medical, medicine or science, philosophy, so all included actually. Yeah. So if we, how to say, capacity, then Abhidharma is only enough to learn about Dharma, about scientists, yeah, about politics. I'm just kidding.
They do that in Shedra,
Yeah.
Abhidharma, so you
Yeah,
study
yeah.
Abhidharma.
Yeah.
Oh.
But it's not enough, just 1 years. You cannot, how to say, master the entire topic, So only briefly, we know a little bit, but not very, clearly. Yeah, that's why some, after you graduated, some Lopens want to focus on only on Abhidharma, and some focus on only the middle way or Prajaparamita for 5 years, 6 years. Yeah, reason because because in the 9 years, of course, you can learn so many different topics, offer different things, but that's just not enough to master on that, Yeah. Yeah, that's just the reason I think there's some Lopen Khenpo are doing that focus on one topic. Yeah. Actually, they published so many books also.
Really?
Yeah.
Do we know anyone?
Mm,
Abhidharma expert?
Abhidharma, I don't know, most of them are focusing on actually Tantriyana, not, the sutra and other things. Till now, I mean, there's a few, some Ane and some Khenpo Lopen. So they only actually published the book is only about on actually tantric yana topic. Yeah. In the future, hopefully, someone, can publish it on Abhidharma or middle way or Prajaparamita, Yeah. Why? Because they're focusing on Tantriyana. I think because in Tibetan society or Tibetan monastery, so many monasteries are focusing on actually sutra and other things, Prajaparamita. So you have many actually books on about Prajaparamita, middle way, Abhidharma, and other, but not on the Tantriyana's topic. Yeah. There's one professor who's actually ex-monk who, after graduated, he went to Oxford University to Karze doing PhD, what? Yeah, doctoring, something like that. After he graduated, then he actually recommend the advice, give advice to us. Yeah, do kind of like that. Yeah. So every year he comes and then he check on every the person who are taking on that, doing on the research on Tantriyana. So every year they go different places. Yeah. Doji Wangchuk, Professor Doji Wangchuk, and his wife also actually PhD. Yeah.
He's in England, in Oxford.
No, from Germany, some university. Not Oxford, sorry. German university somewhere. Yeah. I don't know, they have many university,
But he's Tibetan.
No, Bhutanese.
Oh, he's Bhutanese.
Yeah. Who's actually Bhutanese. Yeah. So, yeah. After he graduated, then I think he left monk. Then he got chance to join that university. Yeah. Oxford University was a different Lama, a different ex-monk. So Kama something, yeah, who's also very good, knowledge, who's also Bhutanese actually.
Because they have very good English background.
Yeah.
Since they are children.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good to know. Thank you, Khenpo.
That's all. Yeah, this month, this month is actually graduate day, is it? Graduate month. I've seen so many on Instagram or WeChat. Oh,
Yeah, June especially too. Me in June.
oh, okay.
High school, college.
Yeah. So many.
Because in June is Father's Day.
Oh.
So they always say grads, like graduates,
Uh-huh.
grads and dads in June.
Ah.
It's mostly high school, right? Graduation, June is high school. Universities is this month.
Or year round.
So many universities are graduating in this month,
Yeah.
Lots of
Graduated too, right?
Lots of Chinese.
Where?
Everywhere. Every university, Yeah. So many. Yeah. Okay.
Home in the northwest country of Indiana,
Born the morning out of lotus, endowed with the most marvelous spiritual attainment, you are renowned as a Lord. Surrounded by the routine of many darkness, following in your footsteps, I pray to you, please come forth and grant your blessings. Oma hum benza guru pema siddhi hum.
Your 1,000 arms are the 1,000
Your 1,000 eyes, 1,000 Buddhas of the fortune age. You who teach each and every one of us according to our needs. Lord Avalokiteshvara, to you I pay homage. Omani beme, omani beme. Omani beme, omani beme, omani beme, omani beme, omani beme. Beme, home.
Dedication on the back. By this virtue may I swiftly accomplish the state of Chenrezig,
And may all sentient beings without exception
be placed in that very state. By this effort may all sentient beings be free of suffering, their minds be filled with the nectar of virtue. In this way may all causes resulting in suffering be extinguished, and only the light of compassion shine throughout all realms.
Thank you for joining us today, and thank you, Khenpo. And we have a full schedule of events coming up. And the first thing coming up is a lovely afternoon of Buddhist poetry at our very special koi ponds here on the property. And this involves readings from Buddhist poetry from the first nuns till now. And actually, Khenpo Karze is going to give an opening talk about the role of poetry in the Buddhist tradition. So it should be a very lovely afternoon. I hope you can join us.
Date?
The date is Saturday, May 30th. And just for those of you who may not know, the koi pond's environment changes daily. So even if you think you've seen it, come back again and you will see many additions. So, all right. And also coming up, we have many practice sessions and retreats. We have a preliminary retreat coming up May 23rd to 25th. That's coming up around the corner. And we have a flyer with many other retreats, including a Nundro retreat following that, several Nundro retreats following that, where you can practice Nundro as a group together. So please stay for some light refreshments with us immediately
you.
following. We also have offering baskets in the back of the room, and it is traditional to make an offering as an offering of appreciation for the teachings and the teacher. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday.